I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
Harper Grace on the Low Show today.
Hi.
How you doing, sister?
I'm doing wonderful. I think you look amazing, so I'm
Thank
excited.
you. Thank you.
Fashionista.
Get the boots, Jamiron. Get the
Yeah,
boots.
those boots
yeah.
are bomb. I actually used to have boots just like that, and I don't know where they are.
Oh no, we gotta find them. We
need
can
to
be
find them.
twinning.
We can be twins.
These are Sam Edelman. I can send you the link if you want. That way we can really be
I
twinning.
love Sam Edelman.
Me too.
I have like a lot of their tennis shoes too, and they're
Okay.
the most comfortable flats and loafers. Like he makes
Great shoes.
Great shoes.
Top
Agreed.
to bottom, sneakers to boots, all of it. Well, I love how we're just kicking this off with a little girly pop moment. I'm here for it. But Harper, you're a Texas gal.
I am.
Where are you from?
I'm from an hour north of Dallas.
Okay.
So grew up McKinney, Prosper area.
Yeah, right on. I'm assuming you're a Rangers fan.
I am a Rangers.
Boo. And a Cowboys fan?
Well, actually, my second cousin, you know, I don't know what part
Sure,
of the cousin line he's
Part
in.
of the tree?
But he used to pitch for the Astros.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So,
Hopefully I'm not wrong.
well,
Nana will correct me later on.
I love it. And a Cowboys fan too, I'm assuming.
And a Cowboys fan.
All right.
too.
Well, we'll forgive you because you're going to play us some music here in a little bit.
Right. I have adapted some of the Titans, though, being in Nashville for the last 5 years. But
Okay.
we're holding out strong for both of those teams.
I feel it. I'm a South Florida girl originally, so
Yeah.
I definitely rep my team's tried and true.
Yes,
You know.
Yes, you have to.
So from north of Dallas, but living in Nashville for the 5 years, how has that been? What's that transition been like for you?
Honestly, it's been really great. I think there's moments where Tennessee can actually kind of feel like Texas. I lived in East Nashville for a while and then moved closer to Franklin, and I like that because there's more trees and more grass, and that reminds me of home.
Yeah.
But yeah, my parents are actually thinking about, you know, coming out there at some point, and yeah, it's always felt like home to me, but Texas still has my heart forever.
Of course. So what's been your journey like getting into country music? I know you're signed to Curb Records, but what has that climb and I guess that build been like to get you to where you're sitting right now at this point?
Honestly, it's been a lot of ups and downs. I think it's really cool to take steps back and look at a bird's eye view. There's moments where going to Nashville, there were a lot of closed doors, there were a lot of no's before I actually wound up at a first yes. But a lot of those moments had helped establish a lot of more confidence and more boldness to stay true to who I am. Growing up, I was known as the worst national anthem singer ever as a kid. And so that was a crazy start to a career of just like kind of demolishing my dreams right then and there. But something so encouraging about something being in the midst of a storm and being able to actually overcome something so challenging. So with that though, I grew up in a very faithful family, and them instilling in me at a young age that no matter how many times you get knocked down, just get right back up again. Yeah. And so that's kind of been my story, and I'm grateful for it. Every moment that I feel like I'm gonna cry because there was a no, I just remind myself, surely something good's gonna come.
Absolutely. Just, knock down 99, but back 100, right?
Exactly.
Not the worst national anthem singer anymore. You've actually done it quite a bit since you've gotten to a good space and a good level where you've done it for NFL games, NBA games, just like all of it.
Yeah, it's been really cool. We call it the Redemption Tour, which is nice to redeem myself over and over. Yeah, it's been something that is definitely still challenging for me. I kind of have like slight PTSD attached to the anthem, but I do it because I want to show people that you can face your fears. So another thing in attachment to singing the national anthem at ballparks, arenas, and stadiums is actually going into schools and foundations and talking about, what had happened to me as an 11-year-old, where I'm at in my 20s now, and what it looks like to overcome your fears and to follow your dreams. And so that's a really big passion on my heart, is to actually continue to do stuff in the school tour system. And yeah, that's been a encouraging factor of my story of, being the worst and trying to not be the worst no
Worst
more.
to first. No, worst to first. We like that redemption arc for sure.
Yeah.
And as we're getting to know who Harper Grace is, what is something that your fans or even maybe people that are seeing you for the first time wouldn't know about you?
That's kind of a hard one. I feel like I'm a pretty open book. I like to share a lot of bits and pieces of my life, even if that's in songwriting. But wouldn't know about me. My hidden talent is I can yodel.
Okay.
And then like a more deeper wouldn't know about me, I really have a dream of building an orphanage in Africa one day.
Wow.
So that's like my end all be all goal. But yeah, I can yodel too.
Okay.
And, I can two-step real well.
Okay. Well, as
Swing
a Texas
dance.
gal, I would
You gotta
assume.
you have to, right? Yeah. Grew up dancing at Cowboys Red River.
Hey, shout out Cowboys Red River. I love that. Well, I definitely want to get into some of the music. Obviously, your latest one, If Daddy Said No. What's something your daddy would say no to, but you would do anyway?
Oh, you're asking some
You
good
got
questions.
any tattoos? Because my daddy hates mine.
Yep, I do have tattoos. That will lead into the next song, or the first song that I play. Oh, yeah. Tattoos would be a good one.
Yeah.
You know, mom and dad both say no to those. I don't even know. My dad, I've been a daddy's little girl since I was young. And
Sure.
so I only got no to like ever so often going out and doing something. But for the most part, the only times that I got a real hard no has been in just bad relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually really grateful for the no's, even in the midst of like my little adolescence thinking that I was in love when it was just a bunch of red flags.
Mm-hmm.
But dad's all right through them. So, yeah, I'd say that. Or, yeah, no, I really can't think of much else.
Outside of the tattoos, maybe skydiving. Like, don't you dare.
Yeah, I don't think I would even ever want to do that, to be honest.
Same.
I'm like, that's a no.
That's a no for me.
Yeah. Tattoos. You picked a good one. I'll
All
say
right.
tattoos.
All
yeah.
right. Well, before we get into the music, give us a little, I guess, preview or vibe on what this project is, what we can expect from this project, and maybe what you're working on after.
Yes, wonderful. Well, If Daddy Says No is a piece of a bigger story that I'm excited to be telling at some point this year. But this song, when I get to playing If Daddy Says No, I'll talk a little bit more about it. But project-wise, I grew up listening to country music when my Nana played it on her accordion in the middle of the living room, and I fell in love with storytelling. I also love the way that my Nana told stories because it was so detailed and some points where you actually don't really need to know all that much detail, but she tells it anyway because she's painting the picture. And so with that, I just love old school classic. I grew up listening to Roy Orbison and Loretta Lynn and Patsy Cline and Dolly Parton. And so being able to close my eyes and picture myself in all of their songs was something that I wanted to mimic. And so moving forward, just with the things that really gravitate me towards an artistry is storytelling as well as organic sounds. I was always the kid that like took pencils to a book and was trying to make another drum noise or picking on something and thinking it sounded really cool and wondering if I put it underneath the microphone, if I turned up the bass, if it would sound like something else. And so noises are really exciting to me, as quirky and weird as that sounds. So I think in this project moving forward and building it into a full album, it's going to have a lot of organic noises, a lot of just vocal focused of kind of a stripped back sound that I've always loved listening to, and it took me a minute to get there because I've definitely experienced in some more like pop country and all this other stuff, which I do think is really great. I love all kinds of music, but for where I feel like is the most real and authentic to me is experiencing my Texas roots and bringing that in as much as I can. But yeah, lots of personal stories, wearing my heart on my sleeve. So
We
that's
love
nice.
it. Well, those are the best kind of stories. Good to have a Texas gal in Houston sharing some new tunes, and we're excited to see where the rest of the year takes you.
Thanks, girl. Next time I come, we'll go two-stepping.
Okay, that sounds good. Harper Grace, everybody.
Yeah.